Welcome back to Dinar Info News, your trusted source for the latest updates, insights, and deep dives into the global currency reset, Iraqi Dinar, and Vietnamese Dong news. If you're new here, be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications, because what we're about to cover could be the most significant currency development of the decade. Longtime followers, this is the moment we've been waiting for. In recent days, a massive shockwave has rippled through the global financial ecosystem, as reports begin to surface that the Iraqi Dinar IQD and Vietnamese Dong VND may have been officially revalued, or at least positioned for an imminent global currency realignment. Multiple sources, both inside and outside of the traditional financial system, are now pointing to specific figures that seem to be repeated with increasing confidence. $5.90 for the Iraqi Dinar and $4.29 for the Vietnamese Dong. These numbers, which once seemed like distant dreams for currency holders and global economic reformers, are now being circulated as confirmed targets or, according to some insiders, already locked-in rates behind the scenes. Let's break this down. The idea of a currency revaluation, or RV, has been a central topic of speculation for years among investors and followers of global monetary policy, particularly for countries like Iraq and Vietnam, whose currencies have long been artificially suppressed due to historical sanctions, war, or financial instability. The potential for revaluation has always loomed large. Now, that possibility appears to be inching toward reality, as multiple events, geopolitical, economic, and institutional, are converging, starting with the Iraqi dinar. Let's address the figure that has caught everyone's attention, $5.90 per IQD. To understand how such a valuation might be justified, we have to revisit Iraq's economic potential. Iraq is not only one of the top oil-producing nations in the world, but it also holds vast reserves of natural gas, minerals, and agricultural potential. According to OPEC and the International Energy Agency, Iraq's oil production is poised to expand significantly in the coming decade. Add to that the reformation of their central banking systems, a substantial increase in gold reserves reported earlier this year, and new bilateral trade agreements with countries across Asia and Europe, and it becomes easier to understand why a higher valuation could be realistic, especially in a post-sanctions, post-conflict environment. Insiders from both the Iraqi Ministry of Finance and the Central Bank of Iraq have reportedly hinted at a return to a pre-1990s exchange rate, where the dinar once traded at upwards of $3. But this new figure, $590, is nearly double that. So where is it coming from? Some economic analysts speculate that this rate includes not just a restoration of previous value, but a forward-looking premium based on Iraq's projected GDP growth and a shift to a gold or commodity-based standard. There's growing chatter from within global banking circles that Iraq's new dinar may be tethered at least loosely to oil or a basket of strategic exports, rather than the US dollar. If that's true, the value of the dinar would no longer be as vulnerable to inflationary pressures or regional political instability. But the shock doesn't stop there. The Vietnamese Dong, long viewed as another severely undervalued currency, is now being cited in these same sources with a revaluation target of $4.29 per VND. That's a figure that, on the surface, seems almost implausible considering the Dong currently trades at more than 25,000 per USD. But if you look deeper, the narrative begins to take shape. Vietnam has emerged in recent years as one of Southeast Asia's strongest economic stories. With booming exports, a tech-savvy labor force, and a government increasingly open to foreign direct investment, Vietnam has become a vital cog in the global supply chain, particularly in manufacturing and electronics. Furthermore, Vietnam has been working quietly but diligently with international institutions like the IMF and World Bank to clean up its banking system, reduce corruption, and move toward a more transparent monetary policy. The introduction of digital currency frameworks by the State Bank of Vietnam is also playing a role, potentially setting the stage for a blockchain-anchored version of the Dong that could enter global circulation. If Vietnam were to peg its currency to gold or a basket of commodities, or align with the rumored BRICS plus alternative monetary system, a significant leap in valuation could be part of that transition. Let's talk about timing, because that's what everyone is asking. When will this happen, or has it already happened behind closed doors? This is where things get even more intriguing. Over the past few weeks, there have been unusual movements in Forex platforms, including brief glitches or test rates appearing for both the IQD and VND. Screenshots captured by traders have shown rates aligning with those exact numbers, $5.90 and $4.29, before disappearing within seconds. While mainstream financial outlets have dismissed these as technical errors, seasoned currency watchers know this is often how soft rollouts begin. They test the rates behind closed systems, run simulations, and prepare institutional traders before anything goes public. Moreover, There are whispers from several Tier 1 banks that internal memos have been circulated mentioning upcoming changes in exotic currency valuations and the preparation of internal infrastructures to handle bulk redemptions. Some banking insiders even claim private appointments have been scheduled with clients holding large quantities of IQD and VND, with rates matching these exact figures. It's important to stress, these are still unofficial leaks, but the frequency, consistency, and urgency with which they're emerging is hard to ignore. On the geopolitical front, major moves by global powers are also feeding into the narrative. The BRICS nations Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa are continuing to push forward with an alternative global financial system that reduces dependency on the US dollar. New trade agreements are being negotiated in local currencies. The Shanghai Cooperation Organization is expanding, and central banks worldwide are hoarding gold at levels not seen since Bretton Woods. All of this points to a realignment, a reset of global currency valuations, particularly for countries with strong resource bases and export economies like Iraq and Vietnam. The potential impact of this RV, if confirmed, would be staggering. For everyday holders of the dinar and dong, the wealth implications are life-changing. Even small holdings could multiply in value overnight. A person holding 1 million IQD, which costs about $800, $1,000 on the open market, could theoretically see that turn into nearly $6 million post-RV at a rate of $5.90. Likewise, a modest investment in the dong could yield similar exponential returns. Naturally, this kind of wealth transfer would also spark a cascade of economic changes. New tax frameworks, financial regulations, and currency stability mechanisms would likely follow. Of course, with opportunity comes risk. Scammers and fake dealers are already ramping up their operations, trying to capitalize on the frenzy. It's more important than ever to do your due diligence, buy from trusted sources, and avoid get-rich-quick schemes. Also, remember that until this becomes officially confirmed by international financial institutions, central banks, or public rates posted on trading platforms, nothing is guaranteed. So what can you do in the meantime? Stay informed, stay prepared, and stay cautious. If you're holding IQD or VND, make sure your currencies are authentic, well-documented, and stored safely. Begin researching potential tax implications and consult a financial advisor familiar with foreign exchange scenarios. Keep your eye on major announcements from the IMF, World Bank, and central banks around the world. Watch the price of gold. It's often the canary in the coal mine when it comes to large-scale economic shifts. This channel, Dinar Info News, will continue to track every whisper, every leak, and every data point surrounding this historic development. Our goal is to keep you a step ahead, well-informed and ready. In the coming days, we'll be releasing exclusive interviews with analysts, former IMF insiders, and geopolitical experts who are all weighing in on what this global RV could mean for everyday people, for governments, and for the global economic order. To summarize, yes, $5.90 for the IQD and $4.29 for the VND. The rates being repeated across multiple insider sources. Yes, there is strong circumstantial evidence that preparations are underway for a currency revaluation. And yes, global markets are already showing signs of disruption that suggest something big is on the horizon. Whether this is the moment we've all been waiting for or merely the next step toward a long-awaited global financial reset, only time will tell. But one thing is clear, something major is unfolding, and it's unfolding fast. If you found this video informative, please give it a like, share it with others in the community, and drop your thoughts in the comments. Do you believe the RV is happening now? Have you seen signs in your own bank or financial institution? We'd love to hear your experiences and speculations. Be sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell icon so you don't miss any of our deep dive updates. From all of us at Dinar Info News, thank you for being part of this incredible journey. Stay alert, stay safe, and stay tuned because history may be unfolding right before our eyes.